Hello, Tiger fans. Thanks for joining us for a new week of Tiger Timeout here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we take a look around Tiger and Lady Tiger basketball. Campbellsville goes a combined 3-0 over the last week or so since we visited with Ginger High Colvin and Brent Vernon last. And the head coach of the Lady Tigers joins us, Ginger High Colvin, after the long road trip down to McKenzie, Tennessee, down to Bethel. Coach, a Milligan bunch that you knew was going to be a quality opponent, and these early season road tests are always interesting, and you guys passed with flying colors.
Yep, national tournament team from last year returned their leading scorer, who's a very, very talented offensively, and then they've got a lot of good pieces to go around her. It was a really good test for us, and I was pleased that we could go down and just get that win.
You know, there are a lot of things in the Lady Tiger, you know, when you look at the box score that jump out at you, but one in that box score as a whole was the point to J.C. Jenkins. You held her to just 7 field goal attempts. You made life difficult on her, and anytime you can hold a prolific scorer down, puts a little pressure elsewhere, and it worked out for you guys.
It did. It worked out, but we did fall asleep on a couple others, and we were a little disappointed in that. But overall, we did a pretty good job on her. We were aware of where she was, and she does a good job. She's just a scorer, and a lot like Grace Bayer from last year. You think you do a really good job on her, and the next thing you know, she's got 30. But we were pleased and just get that win, and then go back and watch film and have a lot of things to work on.
Well, before you get down there, you get the news, and we had already spoken when the news broke that Arkansas Baptist would have to cancel. How does that, you know, throw preparation and the change and all that different stuff to the travel? How does that kind of impact you immediately?
Well, we didn't change our travel because they had homecoming going on, and so Bethel played Milligan the following day. So that was just a good opportunity for us to just get on the road, get the freshmen's feet wet. We went and watched the game. We practiced at Bethel, and just went ahead and did our whole travel just as we would have if we'd played that day. And it was nice just to get the freshmen in that and get them ready to roll when we do have more games like that.
88-70, the final score, and the Lady Tigers were led by Lauren Lee and Whitney Hay for Campbellsville. Lee with 30 points, Coach. That's a career best for her. Anytime you walk in the gym with 5 wearing maroon and gray, you got a pretty good chance. And when she plays like that, she's pretty much unstoppable.
Yeah, she was so good offensively. Well, she's always good defensively as well, but offensively she did so much for us. Didn't have as many assists, but she had so many mid-range looks and looks at the rim. Hit a couple threes. She was she was everywhere. And for her to be able to do that, we take her for granted. When I looked at the line afterwards, I didn't realize she had that many, but I knew she played well.
Then you get Tyra Flowers offensively. We're going to see that this year more and more. We'll see some of the offensive game. You know it's there, and she had double-figure points. She was a couple rebounds shy of a double-double, and what she brings to the table is going to be critical to you guys.
It's so important. She'll stand in there and take charges. Defensively, she's as good as she is offensively because she's so quick. Rebounding-wise, we have to have her because she's just she can get up over the top of just about everybody we play. And then offensively, I want her to be so selfish, and we talk to her all the time about being selfish, and we're just going to keep driving that in until she is. And she's just, to me, the sky's the limit for her.
2 freshmen with nice afternoons in the box score, and Dia Bradley, 14 points. Career high for her. I don't think she'll walk out of here with 14 being the career high as a Lady Tiger. We won't place bets on that, but I will if you call me. Then Talon Shear has a nice night as well, Coach, and you continue to. We talk when we're off camera, and you know you heap a lot of praise on Talon Shear, and we know Hallie Allen's going to get there. I'm sure there was probably a little more pressure for Hallie down there in her own backyard, so to speak. So
there was.
We'll give her a pass on that one. We'll look forward to
and
this
you know
weekend.
she had a really good floor game. She didn't get a lot of looks, but I thought had a really good floor game. And Hallie brings so much energy when she checks into the basketball game. She's going to be a fan favorite for sure. But Talon and Dia offensively really came through and did some stuff for us. I'm sold on that entire freshman class. And Bella Stiles, who's playing behind some wings right now, who's not getting the minutes. And then Ella, who we were talking right before we got on the show today, has a knee injury, so she's probably going to be a freshman again next year. But Ella House from Hancock County. So I'm really, really happy with my entire freshman class. We've got another great group to sign to go along with them. But I'm not used to playing freshmen. Yeah. We're not accustomed to putting them in big games, so it's a learning curve for me as well.
And that was my next question. You went there before I got a chance. How have you had to adjust the last few years? You've basically had 3, 4, 5 coaches on the court at all times, and now you go to the polar opposite where when you look down the bench, one of the first names or two you're going to call going to be a freshman. And how have you had to adjust, or what are some things that you see yourself doing initially?
It's been difficult just because we relied so much on that experience, and we do still have experience in the point guard position, which is very nice, which is where if you had to choose one position, that's the position you would choose. But we are doing things a little different. I feel like we're breaking things down a little bit more. Can't take so many things for granted, but that group comes in, they're very cerebral when it comes to, Hallie Allen knows every play from every position, and for a freshman to come in and be able to do that is phenomenal. So those things just lift me up a little bit and let me know that our future is super, super bright.
Lady Tiger fans, you get a chance to see these freshmen this weekend. They'll be at the Powell Athletic Center as Campbellsville hosts the Classic in conjunction with the men's team. So a fun, action-packed weekend of basketball at the Powell Center. We'll step away, come back, and talk with the head coach about the upcoming game. Stay with us here on Tiger Timeout.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, they can do it too, I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Welcome back to Tiger Timeout here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we take a look ahead at the week to come for Campbellsville University's women's program. They'll be at home in the Powell Center and host a couple of games over the course of the weekend with the Classic here at home. Campbellsville welcomes Bethel as the other team on this. You won't see Bethel, of course. You'll get them later in the year, but your friend Chris Nelson will bring his Wildcat bunch up. And then LSU Shreveport visits. You've also got Bruton Parker. And you'll do it a little interestingly this year. Most of the Classics, they go women first, then the men, but you're going to alternate to where you guys will have the double headers with the Tiger basketball team. So that'll work out really well. But let's talk about it. Talk about LSU Shreveport, a familiar face, and Tim Hayes leading the Shreveport club. And then you'll get Bruton Parker in on Saturday. So let's talk about the weekend. Let's start with Shreveport. They've got a nice win already. They're a top 25 team. Going to be a nice challenge.
Yeah, they went to Loyola and won down. I think they went to Loyola and won down there. Loyola's a crazy athletic team. Shreveport is a team of transfers. So I'm sure he's figuring some things out with those kids now. But we've got to watch one game, and one was enough. We saw how talented they were and how well they shoot it very long, very deep. It's going to be a really tough challenge for us coming in on Friday.
When you run into a coach like in Coach Hayes' position, formerly at Southeastern, you go back and pull any of that from the standpoint of seeing offensively what do they like to do and try to figure out maybe some of tendencies?
Yeah. As soon as clicked on the film, he ran that 3-2. He runs a 3-2 defense, and it was exactly what he did when he was at Southeastern. So those are some things offensively. It's kind of hard because you never know player to player and team to team what you want to do, and he's got some size and some kids that can really shoot it. And their game against Loyola was just a track meet. It was up and down the floor. So I don't know if we got a real good taste of what they're like in the half court because it was just a 90 feet game. And But they're very good. There's no doubt about it.
They played on October 27th, so by the time they get here, it's going to be the 8th. So they're right at 2 weeks off. How challenging is that? And you're gonna experience this here in short order. But play one game, then sit basically 2 weeks. That's got to be tough.
Which we would love to have played our 2 games last weekend just to get a look at us and see where we are. But to be honest with you, I'm looking forward to our break because we're going to play 2 really good teams and see what we need to work on, and then we have time because we have such a young team to add that. Now I'm trying to find another game to throw in there because we're 2 games short this season, and maybe we could have somebody. I'm actually talking back and forth with a team right now, but probably will be 2 weeks and probably won't hurt us. We've got Maddie Nally, who we're still trying to get healthy and back in the lineup, and really super serious ankle sprain, and Derek's done a great job. She actually shot and did some stuff with us yesterday, but we need her size and her experience, and when we get her back, that'll help, and that gives us more time to get her stable and back.
One thing that the schedule will allow you to do that maybe you wouldn't be able to do otherwise, but you'll have a game in between your game. So you have a men's game that'll take place prior to your game. So you'll actually get to sit and probably watch Bethel and Bruton Parker, and you're going to see both of them. Bruton Parker the next day and Bethel twice. You've already got eyes on them once. So
yes,
that's not a
we
bad
have.
thing.
I don't know if I need to see much more of them. But, and it's good for our Tiger fans to be able to come and watch that doubleheader. And we love, I think it's a great, I'm looking forward to it, just basketball all day for 2 days, which is going to be exciting. And our fans can come in and watch that. But being able to sit and watch that game and then and get ready is a nice thing to do too. And just I love the old national tournament vibe. The 32 teams in one gym, and you just go sit and watch basketball games with really good teams playing each other. And I think that's what we're going to have this weekend.
You've got the Bruton Parker matchup. You've seen one prolific scorer in J.C. Jenkins for Milligan. You'll see another one in Destiny Wright for Bruton Parker. Talk to me about that club, and Coach Edwards brings a good group to Campbellsville.
Exactly. So it's a very athletic team. It's a team who, like you said, has a very good scorer and one that we're going to have to pay attention to, but one that we can't fall asleep on the rest of them. And they're going to be good defensively. They're going to test us, they're going to test our patience, and they're going to test our ability to just be able to take care of the basketball, but yet get good shots and not get rushed. So those are some things that we've got to really focus on this week.
Coach, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
The Lady Tigers in action in the Powell Center. The start time on Friday evening, 5 o'clock Eastern time, of course, and then on Saturday it is a 4 o'clock start. It'll be a jam-packed weekend. Basketball, men's and women's soccer, the Tiger football game on Saturday afternoon as well. So the Saturday matchup stream only through our Claw United platform on YouTube. We'll step away, take a timeout, come back and visit with the head coach of the Tigers, Brent Vernon, here on Tiger Timeout.
Owen, when you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
We didn't know what the future would hold, but we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I'm so proud to call you my son.
Welcome back to Tiger Timeout as we transition over to Tiger basketball. The Campbellsville University Tiger team over in Columbia, Kentucky this past weekend. They pick up a pair of wins. The head coach joins me now on Tiger Timeout, Brent Vernon. Coach, you get the early season win at home, a few days off to kind of early season basketball. I know legs are a big issue and finding game shape. Then you get the 2 back-to-backs quickly. The Lady Tigers were supposed to have that. They didn't. You guys got the back-to-backs and a couple of impressive wins.
Yeah, very happy with last weekend. I thought we played extremely well Friday against a well-coached Kentucky Christian team. And Saturday, you know, is one of those games. Sometimes you go into classics and you don't know what to expect. And Virginia Lynchburg came in really shorthanded with some injuries. And again, you know, we only had one more player, but a little more prepared. And it was a game we got out to an early lead and, you know, coasted a little bit. Didn't play as crisply as I wish we had, but 2 good wins early on in the year.
You know, KCU's a team in the Appalachian Conference that plays quality opponents throughout the year. Coach Pack has brought in some guys. We talked about this after the game. They have a lot of talented pieces. Maybe one of those things you're glad you got that team early in the year. 2 months from now, that could look even differently, and a good win on the resume, I think, early.
Yeah, I think so. You know, Coach Pack's done a really good job. You know, you look at their record last year, 6-22. They wish it was better, but of the 10 guys who were getting minutes, 8 of them were freshmen. So he relied on a lot of young guys. They're back. They have one that's unfortunately out right now. And he's one of their better ones, but brought in another very good freshman class. So, you know, take away 2 guys on their roster, they played 10 guys, and all of those guys were freshmen or sophomores. So was really impressed with the way they gave us a challenge throughout the game. And you go into the second night against Lindsay for the first half. They were right there the entire time with Lindsay, and Lindsay pulled away in the second half. But I think the best is yet to come for Kentucky Christian.
85-64, the final score for Campbellsville over Kentucky Christian. And Kobe Penny led the way. Coach, he had an unbelievable shooting night, 10 of 11 from the field. He scored 24 points in the ball game. And then you got a big night from James Jewell, 17 points. Jay Milburn, another double-double. And I'll tell you what, the Milburn-D'Angelo Stockstill matchup was a really fun one to watch. Those 2 of the better bigs in the country, and 2 guys that can put up big numbers each and every night out.
Yeah, it was good to see. You know, it was a fun matchup, and Jay and him both went at each other extremely hard. Very talented young man over there at KCU, and he gave us some work. So there's no doubt about it. Jay's been obviously really impressive the first 3 games. You saw Kobe Penny, and again, we've seen that before from him, but he only played, I think it was 21 minutes, 25 minutes, 24 points, very incredibly efficient. And that's sort of what we anticipated the whole time with Kobe was because he's such a prolific scorer, let's get you in short spurts, let's get you fresh, let's get you a lot of buckets, and then we'll keep it going that way. And if we can keep guys healthy and keep our rotations going, I think you'll see a lot of performances where Kobe's getting a lot of points. And you know, we've talked about James all preseason. The sky's the limit for him. He just has to buckle down in some areas and stay a little bit more consistent. If he does that, he's really going to help our team moving forward.
And the thing, you know, you see 6'6" guys, 6'7" guys, and we talked about this a bit last week, but James's length and your ability to put him on guards and different things. But there was a time in that game where he came over to help. I feel like it would have been in the first half. He came over to help, and he jumped, and the passer had no idea that he was going to be able to get into that lane. I think it was off the right wing. His ability to get into lanes that you don't think most normal people are going to be in. You mentioned the wingspan a week ago, like 7 foot plus wingspan. It's crazy, and that's going to be something for teams. They're going to have to really figure out when they get against a James Jewell. This is a little different than what I'm used to seeing.
It is, and, you know, we see it quite often in practice, and our guys, you know, it can be irritating, you know, because a lot of times whenever you're playing, you're reading the defender, and so you're looking at different spots on the floor, and if you're penetrating and you're waiting for a guy in help and you look and he's not in that spot, you think a pass can be made. And that's one of the things early on, because I wasn't used to it, I would get on to James about, you're not in the right spot, but it's almost like, it's for him anticipating and wanting people to think I'm not in the right spot because he can cover so much ground. And he does that in our practices, and obviously he's doing it some in games now, and it can really benefit us moving forward.
I'm not giving him any ideas, but that's a guy, if you had him like in a safety, a football team, I mean, he'd cover half the field all by himself. But you get the win over Lynchburg there on Saturday afternoon, 98-55, I believe the final score there. And you had 4 Tigers in double figures in points led by Dalton Kramer. Marcellus Vale had a nice day. Jay Milburn, Kobe Penny in double figures also. And then you had a ton of rebounds in that game. 3 guys in double figures. I don't know the last time we've had 3 Tigers double-digit rebounds, but Rob Riggs led the way. KJ Banks was really good. And of course, Jay Milburn, who's a walking double-double at this point.
Yeah, and it goes back to, we're trying to hold opponents under 39%. And I think they were around 27 or 28. So there's a lot of missed shots, a lot of opportunities. We did a great job on the offensive glass as well. And dominating the glass helped us really extend our lead. And I thought Raw did a great job. He was just super active, keeping the basketball alive. Like I said, when it gets to be a defensive rebound on our end and Jay's in there, we feel pretty confident that 90% of the time he's going to get that rebound. And so guys are starting to figure out exactly what they need to do to earn a little bit more minutes. And right now, Raw is struggling shooting the ball, and he's a very good shooter. But because of his defensive ability and rebounding, he's getting every opportunity to continue to play.
Tigers back in action this weekend as they will be at home, the Campbellsville Classic. They'll welcome Bruton Parker and Montreat. I believe Lindsey Wilson, the other school that will come over and take part in that Classic on the men's side. We'll step away, take a break. We'll come back and visit with the head coach about those upcoming matchups. Stay with us here on Tiger Timeout.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Closeout segment here on this week's edition of Tiger Timeout. Matt Payton with you in the studios here on campus of Campbellsville University. We look ahead the week to come for the Tigers as they're back in action at the Powell Athletic Center. It's a 7 o'clock start Friday evening. They go back 6 o'clock there on Saturday as they welcome in Bruton Parker and Montreat. And coach, a couple of NAIA schools come to Tiger Town, and it's going to be a jam-packed weekend across campus. You've got soccer, men's and women's soccer, Lady Tiger basketball, football, other teams in action, and conference tournament play away from campus. So it's going to be a monster week around campus and Campbellsville in general. And you get a couple of basketball games against some teams. You got Southern States coming in, and then Montreat, I believe, in the Appalachian as well these days. We'll get to Montreat's story in just a minute. That's a unique setup. But Leonard Epps at Bruton Parker has done a terrific job after his time at Toccoa Falls. I'm looking forward to this one on Friday evening.
I am too, and our guys better be ready and have them laced up and ready to go. Coach Epps is to be his second year here. He's really put his fingerprint on his program. Last year when he got the job, it was a little late, so got a roster together, and now he's really got the guys that he wants. They play extremely fast. They've started out the year 2-0. Both games have scored 90-plus points. They've got a big-time prolific scorer in Dre Burrows, undersized guard that can really shoot the ball. They've brought a freshman in, Timmy. I can't think of Timmy's last name, but I'm telling you, that young man's impressive. He averaged 27 on a state championship team in Alabama, is coming out firing on all cylinders and really is shooting the basketball. So we're going to be able to defend hard to have a chance to win this game, and hopefully we'll be able to come away.
And Bruton Parker, a couple of wins. They come in undefeated as well. They beat Carolina Christian, and they played an NAIA opponent as well. I'm forgetting who that was.
Yes, they beat New College of Florida. Yeah.
And that's got a familiar, Charlie Yoder, who was at St. Francis last year. So an impressive win out of the gate for them.
It was a very good home win. That's sort of the game that we've been using as our scout. Carolina Christian, a little shorthanded right now. So it was a really lopsided score, but the New College of Florida game was a very challenging game for them, very, very good game. And like I said, up-tempo, a lot of energy. They play with great emotion, great energy. So it'll be a great early season test for us.
And then Montreat on Saturday, and of course you go back a few months and the flooding and things that off the hurricane and impacted that area of North Carolina, and it's a group that even a few weeks ago I don't think you were quite 100% sure if they would be able to make this trip. I think things around a lot of their athletics program, a total loss, and we're just tickled that they're able to continue their season and hopefully get to kind of a different normal for them.
Yeah, talking to Coach Behringer a couple weeks ago whenever hurricane and all the effects, he had no idea if they would play any this season. Unfortunately, their gym was basically wiped out. A lot of their campus was, but basically anything that involved their gymnasium, and that's a lot of offices, equipment, was destroyed. And they played yesterday, and they're playing all home games at Lenore-Ryan. So, it's one of those things that they're just doing everything they can right now to make do. It was great to hear that they were still going to be able to make the trip up and play. And, Coach Behringer, he's a great coach. His back may be against the wall, but he's going to have them ready to go, and it'll be a great test for us.
And you'll get the Classic in, a couple of days off. You get what has become kind of a staple in your schedule, the matchup with Western Kentucky on Tuesday, and that's a team Hank Plona is taking over there at Western, and they're trying to find their footing and trying to figure out a new coach. And you get them early in the year. These exhibition matchups are always fun from a standpoint for your guys. Really nothing to lose. You can go out and play with your hair on fire, so to speak. A little more at stake for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, regular season game for Western. They started out on Monday night like all the teams in NCAA basketball. They unfortunately lost a close game to Wichita State. They played Grand Canyon on Friday, so a long road trip for them, and then they come back and have us. And a lot of people probably don't realize this, but Coach Plona was an assistant coach at South Plains, and Coach Roderick Lawrence and Sekou Harris, who both played here at Campbellsville and had very good 1- and 2-year careers. So for those guys, me and Coach Plona have known each other a long time. When he got the job, he sort of told me, hey, we're going to continue this game. And, they're battling some injuries right now, and that's part of basketball, as we know. But he's going to have them ready to go, and it'll be a very tough contest for us. But always playing Western's good because you play a bigger, faster, stronger team. If you can handle what they bring, you can handle it at any game. And it's been good for us over the past few years, and it'll be good for us this year as well.
And, what's that conversation like with the guys right before they go out? You got some that they may know some of the other guys on Western's team, and you're kind of in the brighter light, so to speak. You've got this big environment, Division I opponent. Do you have to rein that in just a little bit and keep them a little focused, or are they just, you just kind of let it go?
No, I think pride takes over, and they're probably as focused, if not more focused. The biggest thing for me as a coach and our staff is realizing that, yes, we're going out to compete. Yes, we want to win, but still at the end of the day, our record stays the same. And what you don't want to do is get frustrated if things don't go your way, because there's games where we've been at Western and we've been single digits with 5-6 minutes to go. There's also been games we've gone to Western and with 10 minutes to go, you're down 30, and that's part of it. So it's one of those you can't lose focus and realize that there's bad from it. There's always good that comes from it. We're going to go, I think you said it best, sort of play with absolutely zero to lose, work on some stuff that we feel like we need to work on, and try to get better and more prepared for the games that come on later on next week.
Coach, best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, Matt.
The Tigers in action in the Powell Center. They begin 7 o'clock, Bruton Parker on Friday, 6 o'clock to start against Montreat on Saturday. A special thank you to Coach Brent Vernon for joining us, as well as the head coach of the Lady Tigers, Ginger High Colvin, Matt Payton. We'll see you next time on Tiger Timeout.